You're watching Imagisport, your home for top-notch sports simulation action.
Now we're going to go to TV grade. Roughneck Ron's a AA, Z is a AAA. So he gets 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He puts them back in the Ziesta again. Back in the Ziesta. Can Roughneck Ron power his way out of it this time? He cannot. He goes to sleep. Ref calls for the bell, and we have a #1 contender. His name is the man called Z. Let's see what's going to happen here post-match. We're going to go to highlight reel U since our heel, the man called Z, won this particular contest. Okay, highlight reel U it is, and we go to a 51. The heel win results in the face appeal to the crowd. Heel choice of a grudge rematch challenge or allow the face TV grade increase by 1 letter grade. So the crowd is chanting BS here. They're saying this match was rigged from the beginning. So they want a rematch, rematch, rematch. And Roughneck Ron gets on the mic. He wants that rematch. Before the commissioner can say anything, Z says, fine, we'll have a rematch, and it'll be next week, and it'll be a grudge match. And it's going to be an object match as well.
Imagisport presents Old School Wrestling, featuring the stars of the Old School Wrestling Association. All OSWA matches are simulated with Face to the Mat from PLAAY Games. You can order Face to the Mat and various wrestler card sets from the PLAAY Classic website at www.playclassic.com. Now, let's go to the OSWA studios. Hello and welcome to another edition of Old School Wrestling here on Imagisport. I'm Derek Jones. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us here for this edition. We're only 2 shows away from OSWA Revenge here on Imagisport, and after this show we'll have a clearer picture of what Revenge is going to look like. As you saw in the opener, although Z won the #1 contender match on our last show, Roughneck Ron challenged Z to a rematch, and it's going to be an oil pipe match in our main event. First wrestler to get his hands on the oil pipe will be able to use it. No DQs, no countouts, and the winner of that will be the official #1 contender and will face the Lobsterman for the OSWA World Championship at Revenge. Speaking of #1 contenderships, we will have a triple threat tag team match today. The 3 teams involved include the Boomdogs, Sergeant Slash and Colonel Union, and finally the Blue Collar Mafia team of Kevin Linton and Mr. Everything. And so the stipulations are as follows. If the Boomdogs or Sergeant Slash and Colonel Union win, then that team will become the #1 contenders. They will take on Nick Kanicki and Dan Hammer at Revenge for the tag team belts. However, if Mr. Everything and Kevin Linton win, then both the Boomdogs and Sergeant Slash and Colonel Union have to disband, and they will no longer compete as tag teams. A lot on the line in that particular matchup. Plus, Steve America is going to defend his television title once again today. He will take on Honky Tonk Hank McFee, and that will be coming up shortly, along with another edition of the Ringside Lounge. But before we get to all that, let's get to the ring for today's opening contest.
And our opening contest today here on Old School Wrestling is scheduled for one fall. Already in the ring from Kent, England, weighing in at 235 pounds, this is the Duke of Whirl, Sir Douglas Marbury. And his opponent is from parts unknown. Weight unknown. Who is this guy? All right, so a mysterious newcomer here to Old School Wrestling. We're not exactly sure who he is behind the mask, but he is making his OSWA debut against the Duke of Whirl today, and we'll go to highlight reel O for the pre-match. And it's going to be a 13. The favored wrestler gets overconfident and will decrease his grudge grade by 1 point. So who is this guy? puts a little smirk towards the way of Duke World and thinks, this ought to be a pretty easy matchup. So he doesn't have that much grudge. But why is he here? Only time will tell. But ref calls for the bell, and we are underway on another episode of Old School Wrestling. And we're going to go to Agile to start things off here. They're both Agile, so who is this guy being the favored wrestler? Will deliver a flying axe kick for 1 point. Nobody is helped in this situation. And we're going to go to the highlight reel. Odd for A, even for B. It's even, so we will go to highlight reel B and roll the two six-sided dice here, and it'll be a 32. The cheap shot by the opponent triggers a free-for-all. Numerous other parties enter the ring. Orders restored. Match restarted. Increase each wrestler's grudge grade by D6 points. So the Duke of Whirl does a cheap shot here, and we have to... And everybody's coming out from the hot box. Let's pause the video, get some order restored, and then we'll be back with the conclusion of this match. And so once the dust settled in that free-for-all, the grudge grade for each of these wrestlers was increased by 4 points. So now, who is this guy's grudge grade is 3, while the Duke of Whirls is 2. Match is restarted. So we're going to go ahead and just start them from the same space, and here we go. And we're going to go to grudge, and it's going to be for who is this guy. He is going to get 3 points for a surfboard. And then the TV grade's also going to go to who is this guy, but 0 points there, so it doesn't really matter. And mean, who is this guy, is mean, and he puts on an ankle lock and twist for another 2 points. Heavy, neither person is heavy. Grudge, back to who is this guy, and 3 more points for a running power slam. And then agile, both of them are agile. Duke of Whirl is trailing, so we have a submission going on here. Duke of Whirl is going to get 1 point, and so it's a dice roll of 1, so who is this guy is going to break the hold, and we will continue drawing cards here. Strong goes to who is this guy. He is strong anywhere, and so he gets another 3 points for a vertical suplex and the first pin attempt of the night. 11-43 since it's on a chip, and Duke of Whirl kicks out at 1. So we'll put the chip over on Duke of Whirl's card, and we'll keep drawing. Specialty, who is this guy, is going to throw him out of the ring. That is his opponent, and he's already in the lead, so we don't have to move his space anywhere. And so we're going to go ahead and roll the dice, and it's going to be a 6. Leading wrestler smacks opponent into the side of the ring for a point, and then he's going to bring him back into the ring for another pin attempt. Again, it's going to be 11-43, and again, the Duke of Whirl kicks out at 1. And so, one more time here, we're going to go to the favorite category. The crowd's rallying behind. Who is this guy? So he will be a favorite, and he will call for his finisher, the sleeper hold reverse mat slam. 11-55. It's going to get it done. 1, 2. No, it does not get it done this time, as the Duke of Whirl somehow kicks out of it, and the match will continue. Neither man is helped in this situation. TV grade, that's going to go to who is this guy. He's going to get 1 point this time for a jumping kick. Who is this guy smart? He is not smart. So we're going to go to the Duke of Whirl specialty, which is the Excalibur armbar, and he's going to pick up 2 points to try to claw back into this match. Mean, who is this guy, is mean. 3 more points, and he's going to devastate him with a stretch power bomb. And now, since the Duke of Whirl has a D and 2 chips, he's going to need Snake Eyes to kick out of this one. And what do you know? He did get Snake Eyes, and he did kick out of it. Boy, the Duke of Whirl is really showing something here. But we got a mean going on here. Submission. Scores a point. He's going to call for his finisher once again. No use rolling anymore on the submission hold. 11-55. It's a 41. 1, 2, 3. That is it. And who is this guy is your winner by pinfall in our first match here today. Let's go to the post-match roll, see what's going to happen there. It is going to be a 2, so we are going to go to highlight reel X. So getting highlight reel X out here, it's going to be a 54. Celebrity 1 expresses support for the defeated wrestler in reducing the wrestler's grudge grade by 1 point. Josh Brolin's going to come out and give some encouraging remarks to the Duke Whirl. So the Duke Whirl is going to get his grudge grade changed from a -2 from a +2, I should say, to a 1. So as he helps Duke Whirl out, who is this guy, stands victorious in the ring, and although he doesn't have a microphone in hand, he's saying something about wanting to get at the commissioner for some reason. We might have to get to the bottom of that a little bit later on. But for right now, who is this guy is your winner by pinfall in our opening match. We'll be back with more old school wrestling right after this timeout.
So who is this guy? Picks up the win in his first match here in the OSWA. And again, some interesting comments afterwards directed to the commissioner. Not quite sure what that is all about. Hopefully we'll find out more about that here in the coming episodes. But for right now, I just wanted to let you know that this episode of Old School Wrestling is brought to you by PLAAY.com and the Face to the Mat wrestling game, which we use in all of our Old School Wrestling episodes. So let me go ahead and take you to the PLAAY Classic website where you can order your own copy of Face to the Mat Wrestling. As mentioned earlier, the 2021 Wrestling America Federation set is out, and you can go ahead and purchase that. There are also sets that will reflect wrestlers from the 1990s, also 1980s, and 1970s as well, if that is your cup of tea. And there's also a Legends set. Now, again, these are fictional characters, but they are patterned after real life wrestlers of their respective eras. So you could still simulate a fed from your childhood with Face to the Mat. So the wrestler cards range anywhere from $16 to $21. You can get the card sets in PDF format as well. The game itself is $49 if you want to purchase that. All of the information is going to be on playclassic.com. That's 2 A's in the word play. And then just click on the link to Face to the Mat, and you'll be able to get some information for that. So once again, Face to the Mat from PLAAY Classic. Now let's go to the ring for our next contest as Steve America once again will defend the OSWA Television Championship.
And our next bout here on Old School Wrestling is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the OSWA Television Championship. Introducing first the challenger, he hails from Dixon, Tennessee. Weighing at 260 pounds, this is Honky Tonk Hank McFee. And his opponent hails from Griffin, Georgia, 275 pounds. He is the reigning and defending OSWA Television Champion. This is Steve America. Steve America to defend his title for the third time here today against Hank McFee. And we're going to go to highlight reel O for our pre-match festivities. And it is going to be an 11, which means a trip to the next page. Highlight reel P. And it's a 56. Celebrity One schemes with the choice wrestler from the hot box. Increase the wrestler's TV grade 1 letter. So meanwhile, while everything is going on in the back, we're talking about scheming here. Al Rose was seen backstage, and he was seen talking to members of the defending Keystone Bowl champion Pittsburgh Blasters, quarterback Jeff Russell, and a few of his linemen. And not sure what they were talking about here, but it was enough to give Al Rose a bump in his TV grade. So now his TV grade has gone up to a B. So getting a little bit of better stock is Al Rose. And we'll see how that comes into play on a future episode of Old School Wrestling. So with that in mind, this is what it's for, the OSWA Television Championship. And the ref calls for the bell, and we are underway with our championship match. And we're not going to have a ref bump in the first card. We are not. So we're going to go to strong, and Hank McFee is strong on a circle. So we're going to go 2 points for a belly to back slam, but then the trailing wrestler, Steve America, gets 2 points for a knife hand chop. And now we're going to go to cheat. Neither wrestler has the cheat quality. The agile, both of them are agile. They're on the same space. So the favorite Steve America will get 2 points for a cartwheel kick. But he does not have an object, so we're going to go here. And Hank McFee is not helped in this situation, so we're going to go to next, and we're going to go to mean. Nobody is mean. And we're going to go to powerful. Steve America's powerful. 2 points there for a flapjack gutbuster. And we're going to have another 3 points for a crucifix powerbomb. Steve America really pouring it on to Hank McFee here. Quick, only on a circle is Steve America quick, so we're going to flip the card around. But Hank McFee is not heavy, so we're going to move on. Grudge, that's definitely going to go to Steve America, and he's going to get 3 points for a cradle pile driver, and our first pin attempt, 11-43, since it's on chip. 41, Hank McFee kicks out, and so we'll go ahead and move on. And so is Steve America mean? He is not. So we're going to flip ahead. Is Hank McFee strong? He is strong on a circle, so he's going to get 3 points for a standing surfboard. Favorite? Neither one has the favorite quality. But we're going to go to the wild card chart for an in-ring match. So let's go ahead and turn to that chart right now. Okay, here we go. Wild card result. Ring matches. 12. Is Steve America agile? He is agile, so he gets his opponent in a Boston Crab move for 3 points, and that's going to set him up for the finisher, the National Headbutt. 11-33. It's a 22. 1, 2, 3, and Steve America retains his television championship once again with a very convincing pinfall victory over Honky Tonk Hank McFee. Post-match is going to take us to Highlight Reel X. So let's go there now. And so for this highlight reel, we're going to go to 25. The defeated wrestler angered during a TV interview after interruption by opponent increased the grudge grade 2 points. So Hank McFee is getting a bigger chip on his shoulder, ladies and gentlemen. His grudge grade has gone up now from a 4 to a 6. But despite that, Steve America, once again, walks away with the OSWA Television Championship. 2 more successful title defenses for Steve America, and he could have the opportunity to trade that in for a world title shot. We're going to get ready for the Ringside Lounge coming up in just a bit. You are watching Old School Wrestling right here on Imagisport. And welcome back to another edition of the Ringside Lounge. And coming on to the set is the host of the Ringside Lounge, Lucky Lou Cool. So let's see who Lucky Lou's guest is going to be today. It's going to be a 43 tag team that has already had a match in the show or recently. So, well, it looks like we're going to bring out the World Tag Team Champions out, and that is going to be Dan Hammer and Nick Kanicki. So Kanicki and Hammer are going to be coming out here for Lucky Lou Cool's interview. So we're going to go ahead and throw an ad and see what happens here. It's going to be a 66. And so Lucky Lou is kind of a heelish persona, so we're going to say that they're going to have the same personas. So it's going to be Interview Insanity will once each on highlight rules O, Q, and J. Wow, okay. So, highlight rule O, 36, Hotbox ally of favored wrestler, compliments opponent, reducing the ally grudge grade by 2 points. So, we're going to say that Kevin Linton's going to get his grudge grade reduced by a deuce whenever we get to that point here. So we'll be sure to get his scratch card out here. So in order to do that, so Kevin Linton's grudge grade is going to go down to a 6. Now let's go over to highlight rule Q and see what happens there. And it's going to be an 11. The favored wrestler issues dramatic grudge match challenge to the choice wrestler. Winner gets the title belt. Loser must leave the federation. So basically what's happening here is the tag team champs, they are sitting on top of the world right now with their tag team belts. Let's go ahead and get them out here. And they say that nobody can defeat them. So they're willing to put it all on the line, put their money where their mouth is. Remember, coming up later in the show is going to be the three-way dance. And so if Sergeant Slash or Colonel Union win or the Boondogs win, they'll be next in line for the belts. Well, Kaneki Hammer thinks that they could beat both of those teams blindfolded. So they issued the challenge where at OSWA Revenge, whoever their opponent is, if they win, great. They'll get the belt and Kaneki and Hammer will leave town. Although Roger Elder, he's not quite sure he likes that challenge, but I'm not sure there's really going to be much he's going to be able to do about that. So that's some intrigue that is going to be coming up here in a couple shows when we get to the OSWA Revenge in episode 14. Finally, let's go to highlight reel J for our last highlight reel roll and see what happens there. 41. Commissioner appears on the show. Oh boy, what's this about? Issues an edict to the guest, apologize to the hotbox foe, or you're suspended. So the guest can apologize and knock their TV grades down a grade, and the grudge grade, or they can accept the suspension. And Roger Elder, it's like, so who the heck are they? So they must be talking about Jerry Wayne here. They're making some comments about Jerry Wayne. Commissioner didn't like it. So Roger Elder said, fine, hey, you can kick us down a notch. We don't care. We're still the tag team champions. So with that in mind, we'll get out Kaneki and Hammer's card. Kaneki's an A, Hammer's a B, so they'll get knocked down B and C respectively, and they will lose 3 grudge grade points. Well, a lot to digest in this ringside lounge, so let's take it back to the studio, wrap our heads around it, and we'll be back with more old school wrestling right after this timeout.
So, as you just saw, a lot to take in from that ringside lounge segment, but probably the biggest thing is the ramifications coming up for OSWA Revenge once again with the tag team title match. So the Boondogs and Sergeant Slash and Colonel Union, of course, they have to win in order to survive as a tag team, so to speak, as mentioned earlier. But even if they get past that and get into that title match, now it's going to be a winner-go-home situation where if they don't win the tag team titles at Revenge, then they will have to leave the OSWA permanently. So the stakes have just got that much higher for whoever wins that number 1 contendership later on in the show. Speaking of OSWA Revenge, again, that's episode 14, so 2 episodes away from that. We do have a couple of matches signed already for that card. Kwang Choi will get his hands on Captain Black once again. Those two met before with Captain Black getting the victory, but Quang Choi attacked him afterwards and wound up injuring him. And so that's why we haven't seen him on television too much lately. But again, they're going to be squaring off one more time at Revenge. Captain Black will be medically cleared by then, and it will be a Falls Count Anywhere match. So, as you know, in those types of matches, literally anything can happen. So, once again, Quang Choi and Captain Black already signed for Revenge Falls Count Anywhere match. Another match just signed is going to be a rematch between the Freight Train Jerry Wayne and Tucson Jones. If you recall, their previous encounter ended in a no contest, so they are going to kick things off again here at OSWA Revenge. And again, that's going to be episode 14 of the Old School Wrestling series. So now let's go ahead and go to the ring. Our triple threat tag team match is just about to begin. Let's go and get to that action.
Our next match here on Old School Wrestling is a triple threat tag team match. And the winner of the match will be the #1 contenders for the OSWA Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, team #1 coming to the ring. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 240 pounds, this is Colonel Union and his tag team partner from Granite Shoals, Texas, 255 pounds, Sergeant Slash. Team #2 heading to the ring. They are representing the Blue Collar Mafia and are led to the ring by the Mafia leader, Roger the Welder Elder, along with the personal assistant, Dangerous Curbs, Debbie Caruso. From Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 255 pounds, this is Mr. Everything, Jeff Fairweather. And his tag team partner from Omaha, Mississippi, 280 pounds, the Steamroller, Kevin Linton. And team #3 at a total combined weight of 495 pounds from Newmarket, Ontario, and Troy, Michigan, respectively, Boom Boom Barrington and Big Dog Dickerson. These are the Boom Dogs. Triple threat tag team match here, and Linton and Everything are trying their best to see that neither one of the other two teams get a shot at Nick Kanicki and Dan Hammer's OSWA Tag Team Championships. We are going to go to highlight reel O here for our pre-match. So here we go. 31. Underdog wrestler concedes that the opponent is superior. Reduce both wrestlers' grudge grades by 2 points. Interesting way to start things off here. So it looks like Sergeant Slash is going to be at a -8, and Colonel Union is going to be at a -1. And Lynn and Everything don't really have a dog in the race. Like I said, they're just trying to play spoiler here. So although they're on the underdog match track, they technically will not be considered underdogs for this contest. The Boom Dogs are the favored wrestlers here. With that in mind, bell rings, and we are underway in the triple threat, and we're going to go to Smart. Big Dog is smart, so is Mr. Everything, but Big Dog is the favorite, so he's going to get the first 2 points to start out with. Are we going to see a tag to the Big Dog? No, to Boom Boom, we are not. Everybody's going to stay where they at, and we're going to go to quick. Big Dog is quick. Mr. Everything is quick on a circle since he's behind. He will get the 2 points for a running knee lift. Will he tag out to Kevin Linton? Yes, he will. So Kevin Linton will now come into the match. And we're going to go to mean, and Kevin Linton's the only mean one there. So he's going to get a point for a leg twist. Is he going to tag Everything back in? No, he will not. He will stay in the ring, and we're going to go to Smart. Big Dog is smart. Colonel Union smart only on a square. So Big Dog's going to get 1 point for a double leg tackle here, but he is not going to tag out to Boom Boom Barrington. We're going to go to favorite. Linton's a heel, so his favorite quality is actually cheat. So actually nobody gets the quality check here. We're just going to go on. But Linton is going to get the cheat. We've got a little question mark right there. My house rule is I turn favorite to cheat. So let's see what's that. It's going to be 4 big points for an illegal object. Oh boy. So let's see. Is he going to make the tag to everything? Actually, he's going to make a tag and perform a double team maneuver to boot on Colonel Union. Wow. So it's being run roughshod here, folks. Okay, are they title holders? They are not title holders, so we're going to flip this around. Is either other team mean? They are not. We are going to move on then to Powerful. And so Powerful is going to actually go to Colonel Union since he is the furthest behind. So he's going to get 3 points. He's going to try to get a tag going to Sergeant Slash here, but he can't make the tag at all. Is Union a favorite? He is not a favorite. So helped. Oh boy. So Roger Elder and Debbie Caruso are going to get their involvement in here. There's going to be 3 points going to the Blue Collar Mafia team. But it's going to be a hot tag. Hot tag for both the Boom Dogs and Sergeant Slash and Colonel Union. So Boom Boom is going to go into the match. And also Sergeant Slash will go into the match as well. And so, but does Mr. Everything does not have an object. None of them do. With the hot tag, we're just going to go to another action card here. Okay, and either of these have the cheat quality. No cheats going around here. But we're going to go to the wild card. So off to the wild card chart for tag team matches to see what's going to happen next here. So we'll need both dice for this. 26 does Boom Boom have the favorite quality? You bet he does. The Power Surge. So his wrestler or a partner may attempt a finisher move. So he's actually going to tag it back to Big Dog Dickerson here. And they're going to go for the finisher, the body slam side pile driver, followed by the hound howl. And they're going to do it on Mr. Everything. And he connects. 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, the Boom Dogs, after it was almost certain that the Blue Collar Mafia were going to accomplish their plan here and thwart both of these teams, the Boom Dogs come out of nowhere. Barrington hits Everything with a real clubbing blow, tags in Dickerson, prevents Linton from getting involved, also then has Slash and Union at bay, and they get the victory, and they're going to go on to meet Nick Kanicki and Dan Hammer at OSWA Revenge. But remember, it's going to be loser leave town. And so we're going to go to highlight reel T since the face team won the match here. What an exciting finish that was, ladies and gentlemen. So highlight reel T is where we are going, and it's going to be a 36. The face win results in escalation of the feud with the heel. Add D6 points to the face and heel grudge grades. Slash and Union, they've pretty much left the studio. They're fine. They lost fair and square, but looks like the Blue Collar Mafia has a new enemy in the Boom Dogs. So every one of these 4 cards are going to get their grudge grade increased by 1 point. We'll do that off camera. We'll go back to the studio for a little bit and then get set up for our main event. We'll be right back with more old school wrestling action here on Imagisport.
And the Boom Dogs have done it. They have earned the #1 contendership, and they will take on Nick Kanicki and Dan Hammer at Revenge for the OSWA World Tag Team Championship. Looking very forward to that. Before we get to our main event here today, just a few programming notes for Imagisport. The next episode of Old School Wrestling will probably be 2 or 3 episodes down the line. Wanted to get some other games on the table for you. Shootout hockey is an easy game for me to get out there. It seems to have a pretty good following. There have been some requests for some other teams in the EGHL to see camera time, so I'm going to go ahead and honor those requests. Also wanted to get Stratomatic Baseball on Imagisport for the first time. That is a game that was one of the first games I've played as a teenager and still play to this day. Right now, I am in a project where I have divvied up the 2016 Hall of Fame set into 8 different teams in a short 40-game season. We're about 3/4 of the way through it, and I decided I want to do an all-star game. So once I get those teams organized, I'll play that game out on camera and post it to the channel as well. Again, probably still a few weeks away from doing that. Again, lots of exciting things happening here on Imagisport. But right now, it's time for our main event, the oil pipe match. Roughneck Ron against the man called Z. Winner will get a shot at the OSWA World Heavyweight Championship at Revenge. Let's go to the ring and get to that match.
Our main event today here on Old School Wrestling is an oil pipe match. The first wrestler to grab hold of the oil pipe will be able to use it legally. There will be no disqualifications, no countouts, one fall to a finish, and the winner will become the #1 contender for the OSWA World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, making his way to the ring, accompanied by the OSWA commissioner from El Centro, California, weighing in at 255 pounds. This is the man called Z. And his opponent from Deer Park, Texas, weighing in at 280 pounds. This is Roughneck Ron Cassidy. Roughneck Ron and the man called Z in a good old-fashioned oil pipe match to see who will take on the Lobsterman for the OSWA World Championship at Revenge. We're going to go to highlight reel O for the pre-match. 62 commissioner makes a glowing TV statement about the wrestlers. Reduce the grudge grade of both wrestlers and all Hotbox members by 2 points. So the commissioner's saying, okay, all right, now I know this has gone a little bit out of hand here. I know we can't go back on it. No hard feelings. Just, once this is all said and done, may the best man win. Yeah, right. Anyway, we're going to pause the video, reduce everybody's grudge grade by 2, then we'll be back to start this main event. Okay, so everybody's grudge grade has been adjusted. So the face of the mat rules here for the oil pipe match. Basically what's going to happen is the first wrestler to reach a square will get to use it, and then it'll get an automatic D6 roll for extra spaces. Winner will increase 1 TV grade, loser will decrease 1 TV grade, and of course we've got the blue circles here because this match could very well go out of the ring. So with that in mind, our main event is underway, and here we go. And what do you know, we have objects here where there's an object, but they can't use it yet. They got to get to the square to do so. So we're just going to go ahead and ignore that card and go to the wild card chart instead. So considering that this is a no disqualification match, we're going to go to the hardcore chart. And it's going to be a 16. Favorite, the Roughneck Ron is a favorite, so the wrestler goes to the concession area, destroys opponent's merchandise, then grabs an item and clubs the opponent. So this match has already gone out of hand, and so it is outside of the ring. He gets a point, then they make their way back inside of the ring, and we're going to go ahead and draw on the reaction card here. Both men are powerful, so Z is going to get a D6 roll here, and he's going to get 1 point for a suplex powerbomb. Neither wrestler is quick in this situation. And so specialty, it's going to be Roughneck Ron's specialty since they are tied, the nutting donkey choke slam for 3 points right here. And so we're going to go, is Roughneck Ron mean? He is not mean. So we're going to go agile, but Z is not agile. So we're just going to go ahead and move on here. And powerful, they're both powerful again. So again, another D6 for Z. And he's going to get 3 points for a reverse underhook DDT. And we're going to go to the highlight reel since we went to highlight reel B last time. This time, we're going to go to highlight reel letter A. And we'll see what happens here as they get closer and closer to that oil pipe. And it's going to be a 63. The wrestlers exchange ugly blows, increase each wrestler's grudge grade by a point. So much for the decreased grudge grades here. And so Z is going to get a point, and Roughneck Ron is going to be at 0 as they inch closer to that oil pipe. Remember, the first one to reach a square will get to use it. And so we're going to go to smart. Z is smart. He gets a point, and he gets the oil pipe. He gets the oil pipe and cracks Roughneck Ron with it, and he's going to get 4 points, and then the battle's going to go outside of the ring now. And all hell is broken loose. Here at the OSWA Studio 7, the leading wrestler slams the opponent onto the concrete floor. Roughneck Ron gets slammed by the man called Z. And so it's going to be a 7. He slams him on the concrete floor again. And then he takes him back into the ring. He covers Roughneck Ron. 11-43 to kick out. Roughneck Ron kicks out, but man, is he hurt right now. And he's going to need a miracle here. Neither person has the object. The oil pipe has already been used in this situation. So we're going to go to TV grades, and that's going to go to a man called Z, and he's going to put him in the ZS to 11-53. It is a 15. Roughneck Ron is going once, going twice, does not answer the third time. He is out, and the man called Z is now your number 1 contender for the OSWA World Championship with a pretty one-sided victory in the oil pipe match over Roughneck Ron Cassidy. Wow. Once Z was started off slow, but man, once he got that oil pipe, he used it on Roughneck Ron. It was basically academic from there, as Roughneck Ron did not move on his side of the match track from that point. And Z is your decisive winner. He will take on the Lobsterman at Revenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. So once again, your winner of the oil pipe match is the man called Z. Let's go back to the studio for a wrap-up of today's show.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have an official number 1 contender for the OSWA World Heavyweight Championship. And that is the man called Z, who won the oil pipe match over the man that challenged for it, Roughneck Ron Cassidy. You saw it right here. Throughout the excitement of that, I forgot to do a post-match roll at the end, so I did that off camera. And the result of that post-match roll was a little surprising. It was the ally in the hot box, Roger Elder, in the back after the match. He actually congratulated Z on his victory. As a result, grudge grades were reduced for both Z and Roger Elder by 2 points. But if you look back, you'll see that there are some times where it appeared that Z and the commissioner were working collaboratively. So there might be some sort of alliance there, although neither man is talking, admitting to an alliance. It cannot be reached for comments. We're just going to keep an eye on that situation, see how it pans out. Also, I think I forgot to mention one of the fast action cards that came up, Object. I think I'm going to have a house rule next time, and some of you may do this already, those of you who play Face to the Mat, where if we get after the first square and the object card comes up on the fact deck, I'll just say that object's being used again. And hopefully that'll help the match to make a little more sense. Again, apologies for that confusion. Still hope that you enjoyed the show. Our next show will be our go home episode before OSWA Revenge, and we have an action-packed show for you. You're going to see a new tag team, although one with familiar faces as the big fish in the small pond, Marlon Kimbrough, and the Big Grabowski. They are going to team up, and they want to be known as the Big Deal, and you will see their first match ever as a tag team on our next show. Also, Croc Wilson and Al Rose will do battle. And the winner of that match will get a shot at the OSWA Television Championship at Revenge. Speaking of the Television Championship, Steve America will defend his belt once again. The challenger on our next show will be Bananas Foster, who picked up an impressive victory on our last show. So he gets his shot at championship gold, but it's not going to be easy, as Steve America has certainly been on a roll as of late. And then finally, in our main event, Huang Choi continues his war against Yefeni Keith's Foreign Destruction Group. He will be taking on Chief Wahoo in our main event on our next show. But that's going to do it for this episode of Old School Wrestling here on Imagisport. For all of us here at the OSWA, this is Derek Jones saying thank you once again for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And most of all, keep on rolling. We'll see you later.